So now we're going on to the final section, section 7 of chapter 3. Okay. Now you can see, if you have done the work, you see that we've now moved on to plural verbs, dont and speront. Okay. Caesar does this a lot. You kind of got to go with the flow. Here, the subject of dont is going to, and speront is going to be the three folks, Casticus and Dumnorix and Orgetorix. Okay. Now, strictly speaking, in this first part, Aducti probably only really goes with Casticus and Dumnorix. Okay. Okay, a little sloppy here, but don't worry about it. It's not the worst thing that ever happened. So they influenced hoc oratione, ablative of cause, because of this message, this talk. They give fidem et iusirandum. Literally, they give their word and an oath, or their trust and an oath. Okay. Interse, to each other, to one another. Latin has no other way of expressing this kind of reciprocal idea of to each other, to themselves. So here, this is going to mean to one another or to each other. Okay. I also want to pause here just for a moment on fidem and iusirandum. Fidem is trust. A iusirandum is an oath. Okay. So maybe what he's getting at here is they give an oath of trust. Okay. Sometimes Latin will use what is called hendiades. Hendiadys. Hendiades. For instance, Latin will say stuff like, he was overcome by fear and death. Where we might say, well, don't you mean fear of death? Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. That's what the idea is. But sometimes rather than kind of having one word in the genitive, Latin will have two words kind of in parallel. Okay, so some people think of this as an example of hendiades. I'm okay with that. I don't think necessarily has to be that, but go with it, hendiades. Okay, trust and oath. Okay, and okay, now the next part is going to be an indirect statement followed by the word that, again, an English speaker thinks should be the introducing word. Okay, so we would have wanted, as English speakers, speront to come right after et. Okay, so as we translate, we got to do it that way. And they hope. Okay. Now, the way that this indirect statement is constructed is we have an ablative absolute here. Okay, we have a prepositional phrase. Okay, and then finally we get to the subject accusative, which is say. Okay, so it's going to work something like this. And they hope that they, say, possa, will be able. Okay, just keep in mind that if a verb has no fourth principal part, its future infinitive, its present infinitive could possibly have future meaning. And that's kind of what's going on here. So, and they hope that they will be able, potiri, to gain control. Okay. Now, now the verb poti or portiri, it's a fourth conjugation deponent. Okay. Can either take an ablative of the thing you gain control of, okay, or a genitive. Here it's with a genitive, and I know the notes down at the bottom say it goes with regno occupato. That's incorrect. Okay. Totius Gallii is the word that for what they're gaining control of. Okay. So they expect that they will be able to gain control of all Gaul. Okay. Or even have control of all Gaul, through the three most powerful et ac firmissimos and solid peoples, namely the Aedui, the Helvetii, the Sequani. Okay. Regno occupato, after kingship has been seized. Okay. So all three of them are going to again try to occupare regnum in their respective communities. Okay, so let's just do that again, tidy it up. And they hope that they will be able to control all Gaul through the three most powerful and most solid peoples after kingship has been seized. Okay, now here's some questions for you, and then I'll see you in the chapter 4 screencasts.